Good morning. I'm Robert White, council member at large and chair of the Committee on Housing. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2026. The time is 9:36 a.m. We're meeting in room 500 of the John A. Wilson Building and on Zoom. I'm calling to order this additional meeting of the Committee on Housing, and I recognize we have a quorum consisting of myself, Chairman Phil Mendelson, and Ward 1 Councilmember Brianne Nadeau. We're here today to mark up two bills, B 26-542, the Powering Local Utility Guidance and Housing Act of 2025, and B 26-126, the Fair Housing Practices Amendment Act of 2025. The Powering Local Utility Guidance and Housing Act addresses cost burdens caused by delayed utility approvals for new housing production. We often talk about the need to build more housing, especially affordable housing, but what we hear constantly from providers, advocates, and our agency partners is that delays in the development process are driving up costs and slowing projections down, slowing projects down. And one of the most persistent challenges is utility coordination. Projects can be delayed by months or longer due to unclear requirements, inconsistent guidance, or late-stage changes from utility providers. These delays increase financing costs, force redesigns, delay repayments to the HPTF, and ultimately result in fewer units being built or higher rents for the units that do get delivered. This bill takes a practical step to address that problem. It creates a dedicated utility coordination task force to help affordable housing projects navigate the utility process and requires agencies and utility providers to enter a memorandum of understanding, or MOU, to strengthen coordination. This bill will help reduce friction in a system that is currently too unpredictable and too costly, and making sure that when we commit to building housing, we can actually deliver it. Second, the Fair Housing Practices Amendment Act is about predictability and fairness for tenants. Across the district, tenants are seeing new and unexpected charges show up on their utility bills, charges that don't reflect their usage, that they didn't agree to, and that they often don't understand. I just got one of those from DC Water. In some cases, tenants are facing hundreds of dollars in additional utility fees with little explanation, and too often, when they try to get answers, they are caught between property managers and third-party billing companies. These kinds of practices make it much harder for residents, especially middle and lower income residents, to budget and stay stably housed. And in the worst cases, they can lead to debt collection or even eviction over charges that tenants didn't know they owed. This bill establishes clear guardrails. It prohibits landlords from separately charging tenants for utility costs associated with common spaces and vacant units. It ensures that if those costs are passed on, they are reflected in the base rent tenants see upfront, where they are transparent and predictable. It also strengthens protections around alleged non-payment by requiring timely notice, documentation, and an opportunity for tenants to dispute charges before they are sent to collections. The committee made several thoughtful changes to improve clarity and enforceability, defining common spaces, preserving the use of ratio utility billing systems with appropriate adjustments, and strengthening notice requirements so that the process is fair on both sides. At its core, this bill is a simple principle. Tenants should pay their fair share, no more and no less, and they should know what they owe and why. I also want to acknowledge that in both of these bills, we heard a range of perspectives. On the production side, stakeholders raised concerns about regulatory burden and the feasibility of implementation. On the tenant protection side, some raised concerns about costs being shifted into rent. Those are important considerations, and the committee worked to strike a balance, making targeted, practical changes that address real problems without undermining housing production or creating unintended consequences. I want to thank Councilmember Allen, who introduced the Fair Housing Practices Bill, the co-introducers, the witnesses who testified, and the advocates, providers, and residents who shared their experiences and expertise. Their input made these bills stronger. Together, these measures reflect a broader approach to housing policy. We have to build more housing. We have to make sure that housing we have is fair, transparent, and stable for the people who live in it. With that, I will turn to my colleagues if they have any statements on either of these bills.
I'm just concerned. You need help with your water bill?
I
I'm
got
here
this
to
letter
help. We have
from
a
DC Water
constituent-
saying new technology has changed our understanding of your impervious surface. I've reduced my impervious surface and they're telling me my cost is gonna go up and that the new technology shows I have more impervious surface, which means they're gonna charge me more. I think that's crap, so.
Well, reach out to my constituent services folks. We'll see if we can help.
Thank you, Chairman. At this time, I move the committee print and report for B 26-542, the Powering Local Utility Guidance and Housing Act of 2025, with leave for staff to make technical and conforming changes. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those, please indicate by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion passes. We'll now move the committee print and report for B 26-126, the Fair Housing Practices Amendment Act of 2025, with leave for staff to make technical and conforming changes. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please indicate by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion passes. The business before this committee is concluded. The time is 9:42 a.m. and this additional meeting of the Committee on Housing is adjourned.